Before I had the opportunity to work with Jakub, there was still lingering past hurt, shame, regret regarding the verbal, physical and sexual abuse which had occurred in my teenage years and throughout my 20s. As a result of what had occurred back then, it continued to play out in various unresourceful ways over the years of my life, and I now see that this was my attempt to keep myself safe and hidden and quiet. And it equaled many years of active alcoholism, which only fueled the fire and provided the doorway for these events to add up, and often then the hurt would surface in damaging ways and the train wreck would occur. The smile on the outside versus, and that happy-go-lucky persona that I was putting out there was often very far from the shame and the guilt and the desperation that I was feeling inside. I had a deep sense of loneliness. At times I became so panic-stricken I was unable to leave the house. I'd frozen in fear for hours at a time. Once while in Thailand, I even checked myself into hospital when I feared that, really scary, I had no longer had control over what I may actually do to myself, and that really scared me. As a result, they placed me on medication. I often thought that I was mentally ill and going crazy. They were certainly dark days. Over the years, I sought out and played an active part in many attempts to heal what I'd believed that was wrong with me. I now know that there is nothing wrong with me or any of us. And to be honest, all the attempts have assisted me greatly into growing into the woman I am today. And as such, much of what I just shared with you seems at times like a distant dream, another lifetime, or someone else's life. It's really weird. Yet there was still this connection to what was, and every once in a while it would come back, even years later, and it would come to the surface in some form of destructive behaviour, and oh my God. And I would break, my heart would break as I slipped back into playing a small game, as I had to rebuild that rift that had been created through reopening a wound which had never really fully healed. I was done. I was so done. I was also, I think, at the point where I was like, I know how much more I can take. I could write a book on what this has meant for me, working with Jakub. I would happily shout gratitude from the rooftops. I often end up getting emotional like I am right now as I want this for everyone who's been abused or maybe still feels trapped in the darkness or shaded by the dim light of what was. And Jakub has helped me to step fully into the sunlight of who I am, of which I am, and to do so with love. To accept, appreciate, and to love all aspects of what has brought me to this point where I'm at today. To be able to connect deeply and lovingly with myself, knowing who I am, that I am safe, and most importantly, that I trust me. The results have spoken for themselves through my relationship, the relationship that I have with myself, with others. I no longer smoke, which is just like, thank God, another added benefit. My business has taken off, and it's the way that I'm putting myself out there. It's beautiful, it's light. I know it's okay for me to be seen. I know it's certainly okay for me to be heard. And now when some of the past does surface, I'm able to welcome that emotion, and I'm able to allow it to be felt, and I'm able to let it go, because that's just creating and making space for the beauty of what will come. And it has, and it will, and it does come. The greatest gift in this for me is, to be honest, this is the first time that I can actually remember, really remember in my life, feeling and knowing that it's okay to be me. And it's even more than that. It's actually the coolest thing to be me. I am forever grateful, and I would highly, highly, highly recommend this opportunity. Jakub is, he's very special. He's one in a million. Make the most of it.